Go ahead and have a seat. We're gonna go with one more portion. Which is basically traffic. Okay, so the question is, yesterday I talked about this one word here, which is scaling, right? So scaling a business is just three things. How many of you remember what the three things are? What's number one? Traffic. What's number two? People. Number three? Process. Okay? So this session is all about how do you scale with traffic, but also at the same time putting a process to traffic. Okay? So scaling traffic is not as simple as just increasing the budget, but scaling traffic is also about how do you systematically, if something is profitable, how do you systematically and strategically increase that budget so that you are testing the right thing and so that you are scaling the right way. So this session, I am going to be showing you how to make that happen. And the way we're going to do that is through the traffic tweaks. Okay? So right now what the team is working on is there are 4 different handouts that we are going to give you. And basically this first handout is they are, guys, when you're ready you can start giving it out. But basically what this thing is, I realize I had a typo over here, is that before you even start thinking about traffic, it is to understand it is almost never a traffic problem. Okay? The most important thing before you even begin looking at traffic is to understand it's almost a case that it's not a traffic problem. Most people's mindset who don't understand thinks that their campaign is not doing well because of traffic. Okay? So what I'm going to be showing you are the different tweaks to traffic, but also having the understanding that chances are it's not a traffic problem. Okay? So the team, you are working on giving out 4 handouts in total, okay, which is basically traffic tweaks, custom audience, retargeting, as well as the FB secrets checklist. So as long as we are able to give them all 4 handouts, we will begin the process. Okay, so traffic tweaks is the handout that we are going to be looking at. Okay, so please go ahead and take a look at this first handout, which is basically traffic tweaks, and we will begin looking at this handout together. Okay, raise your hand if you do not have the traffic tweaks handout. We'll just begin with that one, that piece.
Shoot you this quick video just
I want
to
to
show
send you
the progress.
this one video over here. Give me a second. Okay, so one thing that is crucial is I'm going to show you how to write the ads. I'm going to be showing you.
So, Patron, we are giving out
Yes.
custom lookalike as well.
Yes, give out all 4 handouts: custom audience, lookalike, the checklist, and traffic tweaks. Okay, but we're going to look at traffic tweaks first. and I'll talk about how it relates to the other handouts. Okay, everyone here have your traffic tweaks handout in front of you? Yes? Okay. So let's begin with talking about how do we make tweaks to traffic. Okay, first things first. Are you testing with different images? Okay. Every time you want to make improvements, you got to understand that your image is single-handedly the most important thing. Okay. When a person is scrolling on social media, when a person is going through their news feed, they're not reading a headline, they're not looking at your words. The only thing that will stop them in their tracks is the image that you use. So when it comes to testing images, first thing, please write down, use native image. Okay, what is a native image? A native image is an image that does not look like an ad, that it looks like it was taken from your phone. Images that uses stock photos will never work as an ad. You know what a stock photo is, right? Like it's the guy that's trying to push this huge boulder from a mountain up in a suit. You know, it's the guy that's wearing that mathematical equation on that, you know, see-through board. So stock images don't work. You want to be able to use images that is captured, like looks like from your phone, and begin with that. Okay, that's number one. Okay, native images usually perform better. Number two, in order for it to stand out, please write down number two is high contrast. For it to pop, you want to increase the contrast of the image dramatically. You can use this for some Instagram filter or something. But if you increase the contrast and max it out, it will really pop. Okay. Number three is to go the complete opposite direction and to make it black and white or grayscale. This is also how you make it pop. When they're scrolling, and they're so used to seeing color, all of a sudden, bam, black and white. Okay, so first thing to understand is if you want to improve your traffic when you're running ads, if it's an image, ask yourself, are you testing different images? Because that is the thing that makes them stop. Next one, have you tried video versus images versus carousel ads? It's basically swapping out the different types of ads. Now, usually right now, videos for a cold audience usually converts best for cold audiences. Why? Because when a person doesn't know who you are, the first thing you need to do is you need to deliver value. And delivering value through an image, is it possible? Yeah, but it's tough. It's not as easy as a video. Videos also has its perks. You can retarget them if they watch a certain amount, which we'll talk about, retargeting and a custom audience. But you ultimately want to create a different mix so that you're now getting data on which one converts best. But usually the rule of thumb is that for a cold audience, video ads are great. Image ads are good for getting people to convert. Okay? So sometimes running an ad to a warm or hot audience, I talked about that on the webinar, right? Image is great for sending people to the link to buy. But you can't send them to the link to buy if you have not established enough value beforehand. Okay? So videos are great to deliver value. Images are great to convert. Next one. Does it capture attention with a good hook? Okay? What is a hook? A hook is something that stops them in their tracks, that acts as a pattern interrupt, so that they give you that initial 5 seconds of attention. And usually this also begins with either your thumbnail, your image, or your headline, right? All these three things act as a hook. I'll talk more about hooks when we go deeper into ad creation, probably after lunch, okay? Next one, when it comes to making tweaks, does your story include your successes and struggles, okay? One of the things you want to do in your ads is to tell your story. So we talk a lot about messaging. In your ads, make sure you incorporate storytelling inside your ads. Does it connect well with the offer? Okay, so in all of your ads, you want to have a flow, okay? And a great flow, please write down hook, story, offer. Okay, this is a 3-part sequence. It starts off with number 1, hook. Are you getting their attention? Stop them in their tracks so that they give you that initial 3 to 5 seconds. Is it something that is new, fresh, polarizing? That's a hook. With the hook, does it connect to a story? So that it backs up the hook. If not, it becomes a clickbait. Okay, I'll give you different examples of this. But Jaden, is the slides on $1 Million Slides created? Okay, just put it in my computer when that's ready. Okay, and number 3, does it connect with the offer? Right, so it's hook, story, offer. Have you tried a different targeting? The next thing you want to tweak is, have you tried changing the person's age, their interest, their location, to see a different result? Okay, so these are just different tweaks. You're testing different things so that you're getting data. This is huge. Are you retargeting them based on where they're at in the funnel? Okay, very important. I'm going to spend a little bit of time on this. Now, with this handout, my team has also given you a handout on how to create custom and lookalike audiences. They've also given you a handout on retargeting. We are not going to go deep into how to create a custom audience if you've never created a custom audience before. Why are we not going to do that? Like I said, I do not want us to spend time teaching you stuff that you can learn by watching a free YouTube video, right? Is that fair? Right? So I'm just going to show you the main strategy, and if it's tactical, low-level tactics, step-by-step strategies, like how to create a custom audience. If you type that up on YouTube, you will get about 100,000 videos showing you how to do it in 15 minutes. Okay, so I'm not going to go into low-level tactics. Let's talk about strategy. Now, what does this mean? To retarget, how many of you here you have done retargeting before? Can I see a show of hands? Okay, thank you. How many of you here retargeting is new? Okay, thank you. Okay, so let me explain to you what this means then. Okay, what is retargeting? Retargeting just means to target people again because they've done a certain action in the past. What is a certain action? Maybe they liked your page. Maybe they commented on your post. Maybe they watched your video for more than 50% of it. Maybe they visited a specific web page of yours. So now you are retargeting and sending this ad based on where they're at in your funnel. Okay, this is very important. So in other words, for this thing to work, then I'm just going to go into a little bit tactical so that you can see that it's super simple. Okay, it means that if you are, wait, let me just go to funnels. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to show you how simple it is to install a pixel code. Okay, how many of you here, you have installed a pixel code before? Okay, how many of you have not done that before? Okay, okay, so what is a pixel? Super simple. if I went to my, okay, let me open up to show you how simple it is. Okay, let me just go to my own webinar funnel. So inside ClickFunnels, one of the things that you can do is if you were to go to settings, right, settings of the funnel, you will see that there's this part here that says hit tracking code. Okay, this code here is when you go to Facebook ads, and literally there's a part that says pixels. You click on pixels, they give you this code, you copy and paste the code that they give you, and it goes throughout your entire funnel. So for example, my proven presentations funnel is register for the webinar, your confirm, broadcast, replay. You know, these are the main pages, right? By putting my tracking code in here, it means that I'm now able to track all of my pages, because now anyone who lands on any of these pages, Facebook will know. How many of you follow, right? That's just a pixel, okay? So what is retargeting? Retargeting just means this. How many of you notice that sometimes, no matter where you go, you keep seeing the same ads from the same person over and over again? How many of you notice, right? Okay, thank you. The reason why you keep seeing these ads over and over again is not because the advertiser is overly aggressive. It is because at one point in time, you either liked, commented, or shared that post, or you watched their videos, or you've been to a specific page. Okay? So what do I mean by went to, are you retargeting people based on where they're at? Okay? So let's take a look at probably the most important funnel of them all. Okay? Which is the webinar funnel. That some might argue is also the most complicated one. But let's just take a webinar funnel, for example. What are the different pages? Okay, the different pages is they need to register for the webinar, right? How many of you would agree the first page of the webinar sequence is registering for the webinar? Okay, so the first possibility is landed on the page, but did not register. How many of you would agree that this is a very possible scenario? Okay, so how do we create this retargeting campaign? It's super simple. Basically, once the pixel is installed, okay, once the pixel is installed, we can tell Facebook under custom audience. Everyone say custom audience. Okay, custom audience, that's in your sheet handout, and also if you've been to our coaching sessions, I go deeper into that. But what is the custom audience? A custom audience now, I can tell Facebook, if a person, I'm creating a rule inside Facebook under custom audience. If a person came to my webinar registration page, but if they didn't go to the webinar confirmation page, think about this for a second, logically, don't memorize. Logically, if they'd been to my first page, but they did not end up going on the confirmation page, which is this URL that I give to Facebook, would you agree that this is the description? They landed on my page, but they didn't register for my webinar. How many of you would agree? Right? Okay, thank you. So now, wouldn't you agree that if I read an ad that spoke specifically to this, it would be very powerful? What would my ad look like? It would be me with an image that says, hey, it's Ping Jun here, and I noticed you came to Proven Presentations, but you didn't register for my webinar. Were you busy? Click here on this link to join me for my next upcoming webinar. Okay? Number one, this is going to be really freaky for them, because you'll be like, what? How does this person know? Right? How many of you, and in fact, you notice that this happens in e-commerce all the time. How many of you notice sometimes you're shopping on Nike, Lazada, Sephora, wherever, right? Sometimes you don't check out, and then the next thing you see, bam, it's like the thing that you wanted to buy but didn't check out, it appears on your Facebook. How many of you notice? Right? That's retargeting, okay? So you want to be targeting them every step of the funnel. Second step. What is the second step? How many of you would agree that the second scenario is they registered, but what? But did not show up, right? Registered but did not show up. How do we create this rule, this parameter? Again, in custom audience, inside Facebook. We tell Facebook, if they landed on this URL, but if they didn't land on this URL, which is the live page, right? So if they've been to the confirmation page, but they didn't end up on the live page, how many of you would agree that it would be because they registered but did not show? Show of hands, right? Okay, thank you. So in other words, what if we created an audience based on where they're at in our funnel? So what would my ad look like for this audience? This audience would be what? This audience would be, what my ad look like would say, hey, this picture here, I noticed you registered for my webinar, but you didn't show up. Did something happen? Did life get in the way? We don't do these webinars often, and if you want to join us for our next masterclass that's happening soon, click here to join our next one, right? Number 3, what do you think is the next possible scenario based on this funnel that you see? So, do you think it's possible that they showed up, but what? Did not buy, did not go to checkout. Right? So, for example, when I did the webinar just now, well, three days ago, 95, even though we did well, 95% of people still didn't buy. Okay? And think about it this way. Because there's only 500 people that showed up, I just need to target 460 people who didn't buy. Do you know how cheap targeting 460 people is on Facebook? Most people lose money. Do you know why? Because they run an ad where their audience is 1 million people. Okay? Now, when I'm able to retarget people who showed up but didn't go check out, super cheap. Why? Laser focused. Okay? Write that down. Laser focused. It is laser focused to where they are in the funnel. Okay? So when we start running this, when Marcus starts running this, what is Marcus going to be doing? He is going to be just downloading 2 ways. He can either download the people, the emails of people who attended the webinar and upload it on Facebook using a custom audience, or put it inside Facebook, run it as a parameter, right? People who've been to this link but didn't go to the checkout page, which is .com/go, right? So if they didn't go to the checkout page, that means they showed up but did not check out. So what would my ad look like? It would be this picture here. I want to thank you for attending my emergency webinar. One of the things I talked about on the emergency webinar, first of all, was the different changes that was happening, and I hope that you actually go out there and apply these techniques. On the call, I actually also revealed how you can actually take things to a whole new level through coaching and training with me. I also talked about the different bonuses that a person would be getting. If you are serious on taking your business to the next level, come join us and check out on this link, right? So what am I doing here? Now my ad, notice now it's very different. My ad here to these people is not to go to the webinar again. Okay? My ad, because I know they showed up and listened to it, could be to send them straight to the checkout page. Or maybe I want to send them to the replay, right? But my call to action here will be slightly different depending on what I want to do. Next one, based on this scenario. Do you think, number 4, what's the next scenario? Do you think it's possible that they went to the checkout page, but what? Did not buy. But did not buy, right? They went to .com/go, right? But they didn't take their credit cards out. So if they went to my checkout page and didn't buy, now this is where if you apply the principles that Joel talked about just now, which is what? Testimonials. This is your hottest audience. Why? Because they were hot, they went to the checkout page, but they didn't buy. So you don't want to waste time sending them to the webinar again. You don't want to waste time sending them to the webinar confirmation or the replay page. They went to the checkout page, but they didn't buy. So that means what? It means that, what is the indication? They stayed throughout your entire webinar. They understood the stack. They knew exactly what the offer was. But somehow, they still didn't take action. So now, this is when you want to rotate your testimonial-based ads to these audiences. You see, testimonials are amazing. But testimonials over here, for an audience of 1 million people, before this, if it's cold, nobody cares. Yet. However, if you use them strategically over here, so like for me, people who've been to this page, all of my testimonials, we rotate them, whether it's platform closing. So for example, this isn't just a webinar funnel, right? Let's say it's free plus shipping. What if somebody goes to my checkout page and didn't buy? Then all I do is I will keep rotating testimonials after testimonials after testimonials, right? If they've been to content multiplier formula, went to checkout page but didn't buy, I'll take all of the testimonials we have, well not all, but a good majority of them, and keep rotating it to this audience until they buy. Like what Joel talked about, right? Eventually, there'll be one person that they relate to, and they will buy. At the same time, you also want to have videos that strategically answers objections. Let me give you some examples. So, let's say let me try and find it if it's in here. Okay, so for example, some examples, okay? So platform closing. What if somebody lands and don't buy? They receive a video, something that looks like
When
this.
I saw Peng Joon came out with his platform closing book, I've been selling from the stage for 13 years, 15 years, I don't even know how, 15 years I've been selling from the stage, and I've sold millions of dollars from the stage, and I've done hundreds of thousands of dollars an hour in sales, and this is one of the best books on closing I've ever gotten. Not only did I get the book when I got it, but I took advantage of all the upsells. Why? Because Peng Joon is the man, and when he opens his mouth, gold falls out, and I want to be there with the biggest bucket possible to collect that gold, and I really appreciate him creating this content, the book, and the course. All of it is so good. If you're thinking about getting it, stop thinking and just get it.
So imagine this, right? This, how many of you would agree that this can be a very powerful video if used correctly, right? What do I mean by correctly? It means that this testimonial, it's no point me running this testimonial as an ad for people who's a cold audience, who have no idea I exist, no idea I'm aware. However, this ad is extremely powerful to be shown to people who've been to my funnel but didn't buy, right? Because now they are aware of the offer, they know I exist. So what if you don't have any testimonials just yet? Okay, then you could shoot a video that looks like this. Let's see, I'm trying to find out where I've put this video. Okay, let me just, let me show you this one. Wait, is it this one?
What's up, guys? My name's Brandon Poulin. I'm the CEO of Lady Boss. We serve over 130,000 customers globally around the world. We help women lose weight while loving themselves again. And once a year, we have a live event. And A good friend of mine, Peng Joon, who just wrote this book, Platform Closing.
Oh wait, this is not the one I want to show you. Okay, so but imagine this, right? So again, what does Joel talk about? Your role is to deliver results and document them and just have a whole list. Okay, this is an example I want to show you. Okay, so what if you don't have any testimonials just yet? Oh wait, it's not this one. You, you want to be able to shoot a video that answers different objections. Okay, this would be a good example. Okay, what if, okay, take a look at this. This is an actual retargeting ad for platform closing, and I want you to listen to the messaging. Hey, it's Ping Jun here, and I want to shoot you this quick video because I noticed that you came to my website, which was platform closing, but somehow you didn't order this book. Now, or maybe it's because Facebook's a little bit wonky and you did order it, but somehow you're receiving this. But chances are, you came to my site, you didn't order it for a couple of reasons. And here's the thing I'd like to share with you. Now, chances are it's probably not the price of this book because it's, you know, it's a book. But rather, perhaps you thought to yourself that speaking is not for you. Or because you thought that maybe you're a shy, introverted person and speaking is for the people that is extroverted, is for the people that has got the talent when it comes to speaking. Now, whatever your reason may be when it comes to learning how to speak, whether it's through sales videos or webinars or live events, I just wanted to share with you, like, if there's a part in you that wants to be able to share your message to other people, whether it's through Facebook or through a video or through a live event, but you thought to yourself that you can't do it because it's not you. Let me just share with you this quick thing. I never thought that I had it within me to be able to speak to thousands of people, because I was this shy, introverted kid my entire life, and I still am. But what I can tell you is that learning how to speak and present and inspire and close, that's actually a learnable, trainable skill. And I wish I understood that a whole lot earlier, because then I would have started a whole lot earlier. But if you are in that category, I know how that feels because that's how I felt years ago. And I don't want that to be the reason why you don't do this, because I can tell you that understanding how... Okay, I can keep going on here, but this is, you know, a 7-minute video. But I think that you can start seeing what I'm doing right now, right? So if a person comes to your site but doesn't buy, why aren't they buying? Because there are still all these different objections. So one of the things that you want to be doing in your retargeting, in your follow-up, is to have each video individually answer each objection. Where you're giving value, you're telling a story, and then there's a call to action again, right? So now, what if you could mix your testimonial-based videos as a follow-up together with your personal video answering objections? Notice, the magic in this isn't some high-quality production video. I did this intentionally, selfie mode, portrait, right? Why? Because the power here is its messaging, being authentic and real. Okay, this ad here has saved us a lot of sales. Doesn't need to be fancy. It's just the messaging. Okay, so that is basically how you start thinking about recreating ads based on where they're at in the funnel. Please write this in all caps. The money is in retargeting. In all caps. Okay, the money is in retargeting. Most people just focus on targeting cold audiences. That's not where the money is. The money, the real money, is in retargeting. Why? Because number one, the audience size is so small, so you're not wasting clicks. And at the same time, you are speaking specifically to the actions they took. So the message is laser focused. Okay? How many of you can see how powerful this is? This strategy here, right? Okay, thank you. You need to start rolling these things out. Okay, next one. Are you warming them up through value videos or live stream that doesn't sell anything? So this is something like content creation. I am constantly creating content, and to show you the power and then how much I believe in this, okay, in content creation that doesn't sell anything. Some of you might not know this, okay, but I paid over ringgit 1 million, which is about 250,000. I spent about the studio was about I spent about 400,000 US dollars buying up the studio next to me and equipping it with the state-of-the-art equipment. Now, one of the things I wanted to do was I wanted to show you guys pictures of the studio, but and I was going to ask somebody from my team that would be in, but I realized that today is Sunday, so nobody could send me pictures. But so one of the things I found is I was giving a virtual tour to Ken Okazaki, one of the guys who helps me with the 52 in 2 program that I sell online for people who want to, create 52 videos in 2 days. And so I was just kind of showing him the different things. And this video is like 2 months old now, okay? But I just wanted to share with you like how much I believe in content creation, where I spent significant amount of money on building up this studio, okay? Here's how it looks like 2 months ago. I should do this quick video just to show you the progress on the studio. I would say it's about 90% done. Over here is where a green screen with a flip chart. You could potentially do the trainings up in front. The chairs are a little bit messy right now. This is the infinity wall that we proposed. I think this is an amazing clickbait. Take a look at this, okay? I built an entire emulation of the Iron Man setup with a full-size Iron Man. It's going to be there. And I'm going to go one step further. I'm buying the Iron Man that's actually customizable to my tailor-made to my exact body size, because unfortunately the real Iron Man is probably 2 heads taller than me. So the Iron Man's displays over here, but I'm actually having second thoughts of putting, like 50 grand worth of Iron Mans in here. I just don't feel. So one of the things that you might know is I actually create these Iron Man figurines, and the ones that I collect is actually really expensive from Hot Toys. And initially I wanted to display all of them over here, but I don't know. I feel like security might be a thing. So anyway, I'm still thinking about it. Pay for it. Control room. The TVs are not in yet. We're ordering them direct from China, so it's gonna take by the time it comes August, it'll be up. But 10 screens, 2 on the side, 6 in the middle. And this. So I'm literally, and by the way, even though I'm buying from China, like the cost will actually shock you, like in terms of like I'm getting like the state-of-the-art LED screens where it's all connected to each other and it's controlled by the panel. So there'll be 10 screens, 2 at the sides, 6 in the middle, and 2 at the side. So it's gonna look like an ESPN Sports Center thing, okay? That's how much I believe in content creation, guys. Middle, and this is where you'll be able to do the training over here, and then that is where the light board is, and then this is like a little storage area. So wait, let me see. There's no storage in front of there. Okay, so one of the things you'll notice is there's this thing called the light board, and we actually just set it up. I'm not sure if we've published it on YouTube yet. Have we? Anyone knows? Anyway, so I'll just show you how. So I've created a bunch of videos, but let me show you what anyone here know what a light board is? Okay, it's this. Is it? It's inside Trello. Okay, never mind. I'll just show them how let me see if I can. So this is a light board, okay?
Good grammar and spelling are important.
Not this
but
video.
If you want to write essays that inspire.
Okay, it looks something like this, okay? This is.
And through some crazy scientific.
So you can actually like
pigmentation. So it really
draw stuff.
makes all of this writing just pop out and gives it.
So the light board that you see over there is this special setup that took us a crazy amount of money and material and sourcing things together to create this effect. Okay, so there's no reflection. Everything that you draw looks like magic appearing on the screen. And I think that this is another great way to engage. Now, yes, I spent 400 grand building up this entire thing with state-of-the-art equipment. But look, I'm always thinking about whether I'm saying something that causes an objection, okay? And I don't want your objection to be, oh man, in order to do what Peng Joon is doing, I'm gonna spend 400 grand on no, okay? I didn't have all these years before. These are fancy stuff, okay? For years, all I did was use my phone, right? Do it the DIY style, but now I want to take things to a whole new level, and that's how much I believe in creating content, okay? So my entire studio is all about creating my content, shooting my webinars, all of the videos, stuff on my funnels, that I showed you earlier, okay? Next one. Are you responding to comments to increase engagements? Now notice, I didn't use the word personally responding to comments. It's just, are you responding to comments? For me, I do not like using social media for consumption. I've said that before. But I do realize that social media requires engagement. And if you're not rewarding your people by responding to them, eventually they're not going to comment, right? So one of the things you want to do is you want to comment or have somebody in your team comment to increase engagements. And the most important mindset to adopt ever, okay, is that trolls and hater comments is not necessarily a bad thing depending on the type of content. If it is something that is related to a sale, then yes, you want to answer it through like a customer support, have it replied, okay? However, if it's, and then you want to hide it. So let's say somebody says, I bought the book, it's now 3 weeks later and I have not received it yet. So you dropped the ball somewhere, okay? So what you want to do is you want to reply that and then hide the message. Don't delete it, but hide it. Why? Because that will kill your conversions on an ad, okay? Because other people will be saying, oh, this person, and again, when there's no context, even though it's just one person, maybe out of 500 people that received this delay, other people don't know that. They might think this person constantly drops the ball when it comes to customer service, okay? So the difference is, the first one, if it's an ad directly related to a sale or something to do with your fulfillment that was not positive, reply to that, hide it. Or sometimes you can even use it to your advantage. So one of the things that I do is if somebody says, it's been a month and I never received the book, one of the things I do is I respond to this post and I apologize for dropping the ball. I give them the email and I tell them, please get a full refund and we will send you a book anyway. By you doing that, that is social proof. It tells other people that you care, and when most people would have just deleted a comment, because that's the easy way out, right? So that's one. Number two is if it's a value video, a video that doesn't sell anything, if you get nasty comments, don't delete it. If it's a troll, troll that person back, whatever. But remember, nobody wants to go to a video where all of the comments is, I love you, smiley face, amen, right? There's no fun in that. Why are people going on comments? Because they want to see drama, okay? That's when it blows up. If every comment you just hit it, it's boring. Nobody wants to read your comments. They want to see this person saying this thing and this other person disagreeing and this other person coming disagreeing with this other person. And look, it's social media, okay? It's a total waste of time, to me anyway. But that's what people like. Give them what they like. Okay? Next one. Do you have a chat messenger bot as a follow-up? Okay, this is really optional. I've not had a messenger bot for a very long time. It's free. Please write down manychat.com. manychat.com. One of the things you can do to take things further is put a chat bot. as a follow-up. A chatbot will never replace a human, never. Okay? It is just to help you streamline and automate processes a little bit more, but will never replace a human. Have you tried a more polarizing... Yes, Joel?
A little concerned about chatbots with Facebook right now because they just made some changes. Can you address it a little bit?
So one of the things that Facebook has been doing is they realize that marketers spoil everything. Okay? And one of the things that Facebook is trying to do is they are trying to decrease the likelihood of marketers harassing and abusing chatbots. So chatbots was really effective 3 years ago, but today one of the things that Facebook has in place is that they do not want you to send a broadcast out to your followers on your chatbot if they've not engaged with you within the last 24 hours. So to be safe, so that you don't get in trouble with Facebook, one of the things you want to be doing is to send them a warm-up message first, if you have not talked to them in a while. So it will be sending out a broadcast saying, hey, this is Peng Joon here, and I recently did an emergency webinar revealing the different changes that is happening in social media. Would you like to watch this webinar replay? Yes, no. Okay? So this yes and no button that you create is crucial so that you're in good standing with Facebook. What Facebook does not want is you saying, where it's a one-way message, I just did an emergency webinar, click here to watch the emergency webinar. That is what Facebook doesn't want. So as long as you give users the option to choose that outcome, you'll be fine. Okay? Next one, have you tried a more polarizing message? Okay? Polarity sells. You heard me say this, love me or hate me. There's no money in between. Okay, polarity. So I'll talk about polarity in a second when I talk about ads and I show you different examples of ads. But polarity is a very powerful hook in messaging. Okay, remember, there's no money in neutrality. Okay, it's when you try to cater to everybody with a neutral message. Please write down, neutral is boring. If you were talking about money, a safe neutral message would be how to make more money. Polarizing would be the real reason why you're broke. You could be saying the same exact thing, but I guarantee you, the second one, the real reason why you're broke, is going to convert a whole lot better. Why? Polarity. At the same time, you will have people who will be offended by it. Who are these people? Well, broke people. Right? Polarity. Now, one thing to clarify on this part is, I don't think I'm a polarizing person at all. However, I do realize polarity is a very powerful element in marketing. And that's why I use it. So you don't need to be a polarizing person. You just need to understand that polarity in your marketing and messaging is very powerful. Is there anything that can be done to make it more shareable? Okay? Call to action, telling them, hey guys, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Like, comment, or share this post. Right? Because Facebook is all about engagement. Please write down engagement. Engagement equals likes, comments, and shares. If you can get them to like, comment, or share, the odds of you being more visible and having a post shown organically is a whole lot higher. Next one, how are you responding to negative comments? Kind of talked about this earlier. Okay, the easy way out is deleting it. That's the easy way out. And the only time you delete it or ban a person is really if it becomes toxic, negative, affecting conversions on a conversion ad. Okay? But in most cases, That is what creates engagement. Okay? How are you responding to that? I'll show you some different examples later, how I respond to negative comments. Okay? Can you add humor into the ad? Okay, this is actually a little bit of polarity as well, right? Ugly videos that sell, right? Add humor. Are you targeting lookalike audiences? So one of a very powerful thing is when you want to come scaling your traffic is taking the people that has bought from you. That's the most powerful one. Number one, please write down buyers. Buyer lookalike. Please write the different type of lookalikes you should be doing. Number one, buyer lookalike is the most powerful one. People who look like the people who bought from you. Guess what? Facebook knows. You go to lookalike audiences and you have a couple of options. You upload your entire existing customer list and tell them based on this list, based on this algorithm, based on their demographics, where they stay, Facebook has got all of the data. And we don't even know the factors and the algorithm they use. Okay? But they will have that data. So you can help, they will help you create a 1%, 2%, 3% lookalike, okay, up to 10%. So what you do is you start off with a 1% lookalike. 1% lookalike means it's the most, I don't know how to make this sound grammatically right, but it sounds like it's 1% is the most lookalike. Okay? 10% will give you a much bigger audience, but is because it's a much bigger sample size, so they've loosened up the parameters a little bit. Okay? But 1% lookalike will give you the most lookalike. So that's number one. The first thing is lookalike buyers. Number two is lookalike leads. People that have given you their email in the past. Maybe they bought something, maybe they didn't. Okay? But at least now you can target people who looks like them. Okay? Lookalike leads. Number three is lookalike like the people who landed on a specific page. So maybe lookalike of the people that attended my webinar. So I can give them the 1,500 registered and say, Facebook, show me another audience that looks like this 1,500 people that attended my webinar, right? So they run through the algorithm and say, based on all these different factors, here is another 700,000 people that look like the people who attended your webinar, okay? And it's freaky, right? The amount of data they have on you. Next, so here's your turn, okay? Based on all these different things, I always want it to be practical. It's a lot, right? A lot to digest. The goal here, guys, is, how many of you, first of all, here, can see my goal here is not to overwhelm you? How many of you can see that, right? What is my goal here? My goal here is to show you that this thing here has taken me a decade to figure out. It took me a decade to list all these different things up. So do not feel like, oh man, I've got all these things to do tomorrow, okay? You're not going to do it tomorrow or next week or even next month, okay? This is to show you that this is the path and the different things you need to work on, okay? Let me give you